here's your host, John Chapman.
What is going on, faithful? Oh my gosh, today, out of nowhere, okay, for those who have been living under a rock for the past 2 hours, the 49ers go and make a gigantic move. They jump from number 12 all the way up to number 3. I don't have any notes. I'm on my lunch break. I got class here in a little bit. I guess teaching from home finally has its one benefit. But we've got to talk about this trade because everything for the 49ers has changed dramatically. The 49ers go from number 12 to number 3. They give up 3 first-round picks and a third to do so. That's a lot of scratch. They gave up a lot. We're going to put some context on that. We're going to hear from Kyle Shanahan, or we're going to go over some clips of the quarterbacks that could be there. Now, a couple things that you have to understand before we even talk about this. Number one, this is a quarterback move. You do not trade 3 first-round picks. I don't care if it's the best corner in the league. I don't care if it's the best wide receiver in the league. I don't care if it's a tackle. Doesn't matter. It is a quarterback. And that is where the debate starts because there are so many different options. So many different options at quarterback. Nobody agrees. Obviously, Trevor Lawrence, he's going 1. That's where the debate starts right after that. Is it going to be Justin Fields, Zach Wilson? I think Zach Wilson would be the guy. I think he's going number 2 to the Jets. It just makes too much sense. But then you've got Justin Fields, Trey Lance, and a lot of people, and it hurts me to even think of this, Zach Wilson. I don't like Zach Wilson. I think he would be a fine quarterback, but I think he's a Jimmy Garoppolo with minor upgrade, perhaps, and that's it. And so I don't like it. So how do I feel, Ghost? I see the question there. Man, at first I was excitement, right? Very, very excited. And whenever we provide context for this trade, we gave up 3 firsts to third to jump up for a quarterback. So let's look back. What were the 49ers' last 3 first-round picks? And whenever you look at it that way, I think it gives you just a little bit to look at and say, okay, Mike McGlinchey 3 years ago. Okay, yeah, we're fine without that one. He's a solid starter, whatever, but he's got some issues. Bosa, do I think that we're going to be picking to the top 2 again? Hell no. If you're John Lynch and Kyle Shanahan, you are making this trade with the understanding you are an elite quarterback away. You spent all of free agency going and just checking off the boxes. Your starting rotation is set. But you don't have that elite QB. Just the last episode that we did this week, I said Jimmy Garoppolo is my number 13 quarterback. And people hate me because I'm too low on him, or they hate me because I'm too high on him. It doesn't matter. That's just where I see it. You can disagree. That's fine. You want a top 5 guy. So the 49ers say there is somebody in this draft, not only somebody, several people in this draft. This is a super deep quarterback draft at the top of the class. You're going up for the number 3 guy in this class alone. And I think that's huge. Now, again, staying with those first-round picks, McGlinchey, Bosa, and Brandon Ayuk. That's a pretty damn good haul right there. Now, look at the 3rd quarterback selected in each one of those drafts. Justin Herbert this year, hell yeah, you would do that trade. Now, the Bosa thing, he's an outlier because you're not going to be picking number 2. And Bosa, hasn't been a Bosa in 5 years. There's not going to be another Bosa 5 years after that. That's that good. Even Chase Young wasn't even half as good as Nick Bosa was. But Justin Herbert, oh my gosh. Before that, though, Dwayne Haskins. Yeah, you don't want that. And then the year before that, Josh Allen. You're happy with that. You want to go back to the 4th year, the very first draft of the 49ers, that's Solomon Thomas. Guess who the 3rd quarterback was that year? Deshaun Watson. So, Ghost, again, how do I feel? I feel excited, man. I'm pumped up. Did we pay a lot to jump to the number 3 pick? We did. But everybody in the faithful has been saying, go get a top-tier QB. This is what it costs. 3 firsts and a third. Now, the third is kind of a gimme because that was a compensation pick for Robert Saleh leaving. Now, the great news about this is we keep our 2nd-round pick. That is one thing that the 49ers were able to get out of this. Yeah, the first rounders are gone, but if you look at the draft capital that the 49ers have moving forward, they're solid. We really are doing just fine because we have the number 43 pick and now the number 3 overall pick. We still have pick 117 in the 4th round. We have 3 5th rounders, 155, 172, 180. We do very well in the 5th round, but you don't want to count on those as starters. 194 in the 6th round, pick number 230 in the 7th round. So we have plenty of picks this year. Look at 2022, next year's draft class. We don't have our first. We just traded that. We have our second. We have 2 third-round picks. Again, that Robert Saleh compensation pick. We have a 4th, a 5th, no 6th rounder because of Jordan Willis trade, and a 7th. We're just fine on draft capital next year. Another thing I just found, which is interesting, only the Arizona Cardinals have a first-round pick out of every team in the NFC West in 2022. We've all traded our picks away. The Rams traded it for Matt Stafford. Seahawks traded it for a safety. And we traded it now for the quarterback that we're going to pick in this draft. Then you go to 2023, 2 years from now. No first there. But every pick, 2nd, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7th round, we have our original picks, plus another 3rd for Martin Mayhew getting hired for the Washington football team. So draft capital-wise, we're okay. It hurts not having a first round. I'm a big draft guy. You do the mock drafts every year, right? And you love talking about who you're going to take in the first round. We don't get to do that next year. We're going to be on the sidelines, but that's okay. It just means I've got to dive deeper into all this draft content so that we can get out what needs to be out and we can understand the depth of these players. But yeah, Jason, the Niners finally putting their big boy pants on. And I think that this is a move you could not have done the first couple years for the 49ers. I don't think you could have. But you look at the roster. The question was, how do we sign all these free agents whenever it's a low cap, we don't have the cap, whatever else? How do we do that? Well, we're going to have to spend draft capital to replace all these guys. Nope. They brought everybody back. You checked off every single box. The only one that I wish we would have brought back that we didn't was Kerry Hyder. Everybody else, best of luck to them. But you fill out the roster. Now, you go get your quarterback. And a couple other things about this trade. Ian Rappaport came out, and you can take this for whatever you will. Jimmy Garoppolo is going to be on the roster in 2021 still. And I 100% believe and support that. We'll have to see. Maybe they get a crazy good trade partner that wants to take Jimmy Garoppolo. But here's the difference with teams that make these types of trade to go up and get a quarterback. The 49ers are a win-now team. They want to win now. They're a playoff team now. So does Kyle Shanahan trust a rookie quarterback stepping in week 1 whenever this offseason's already going to be shortened, right? You're not going to have all the mini camps and all that stuff. They haven't ruled on how that's going to go, but it's not going to be near as, I don't know, he's not going to get the experience, the snaps and all those things. Kyle Shanahan is legendary. I've been saying this for a long time. He wants quarterbacks to sit. So think much more Alex Smith to Patrick Mahomes type of a transition. We're not the Cincinnati Bengals. We are not a rebuilding team. Just let the quarterback step in. Let's see how it goes. That's not who we are. We've already proven, we've already made all these signings with all these free agents. We have $19 million cap space still after every signing and free agency we've done. Could you save some money by trading Jimmy Garoppolo? Yes, you could. But there's not a lot of people out there on free agency still. There's a couple guys that you can do, but understand this. The best thing for a rookie quarterback is to wait, is to learn. Let Jimmy go out there. If he gets hurt, then it's time for the rookie. If he sucks, then it's time for the rookie. You want to make that transition in the bye week? 100% okay with that. But we saw what happens when the quarterback goes down, right? When Jimmy went down, everything stalled. Everybody else got hurt as well. But why not leave it? You have your roster set. Now, if you get a first-round pick for Jimmy Garoppolo, yeah, you take it without looking back. That's great. I just don't think that's going to happen. The team most likely to trade for Jimmy Garoppolo was the New England Patriots. However, they just gave a sizable contract to Cam Newton. You mean to tell me now they're going to trade a first-rounder to also bring in another veteran? I just don't see it. Maybe a second-round pick at best, but I want to win now and in the future. And so if you just look at what that looks like, I think the best way to do that is to keep Jimmy Garoppolo this year. He has a no-trade clause as well, so it's got to be going to a good team. But we have him under contract for next year, and he doesn't have a no-trade clause next year. No trade clause next year. Jimmy Garoppolo doesn't. We can trade him anybody next year. And that contract gets better and better by the year. I think he's like the 15th or 16th quarterback against the cap this year, but we're fine. We have $19 million with Jimmy. I think we keep him. Why? Again, solidifying, insulating yourself from injury at the quarterback position. If the worst case scenario is Jimmy Garoppolo goes down, now we have our number 3 pick coming in at quarterback, I love it. Now, I went back real quick and just looked through some of the Kyle Shanahan press conference clips that I've had in the past. This was a question on Kyle Shanahan on QBs and kind of how he evaluates them. And so let's hear from him. And I think you're going to hear a couple things in here from the head coach himself saying, look, this is what we want with quarterbacks.
Yes.
Yeah, I don't know if it's because I'm a head coach. Maybe, I don't know. But I mean, how I evaluate everything is always changing. I mean, things change, people change. I mean, you start to see you can win football games with any type of quarterback as long as they are good enough, and you can be good enough in hundreds of different ways. So, I mean, I evaluate quarterbacks in terms of trying to find people who can have a chance to be one of those elite type guys, and there's lots of different ways to do it. I mean, you can see now there's plenty of different ways. So I don't think that'll ever change. I don't think you have one certain thing you're looking for. You're just trying to find a guy who is better than about 98% of the people on this planet or in this country. And when you find that, you get him and you adjust to him.
That's the thing. When you find that, you get them and you adjust. Okay, now let's change it. Now let's talk about who the hell that is, because we haven't even talked about the possibilities that are there. Now, I've been on this for a long time, okay, and my quarterback rankings go this way: Trevor Lawrence, Zach Wilson, Trey Lance, Justin Fields, Mac Jones. That's my own personal rankings. All of those guys are incredible. Okay, the only thing that would piss me off is if Mac Jones gets taken, but it kind of makes sense from a Kyle Shanahan perspective. One, he is a Jimmy Garoppolo clone, not very mobile. He did run a 4.8 as pro day, but that's just not his game. So let's take a quick look. I do not want to take at all this Alabama player. I don't want to do it. And let me just say this before I put the film on. You know, I put this poll out there and asked right after this trade, okay, the 49ers at number 3, assuming Trevor Lawrence and Zach Wilson are gone, because I think both those players will be gone, who do you want out of Justin Fields, Trey Lance, Mac Jones, or trade up to number 2? The last place, 5% of the vote was Mac Jones. I don't want Mac Jones. The reason why I don't want Mac Jones, he doesn't bring anything extra to the table. It's not there. Is there a way Mac Jones could be the best quarterback in the NFL? I don't see it. With the other guys, 100% see it with the body, the athleticism, the mobility, the arm strength. Mac Jones is last in every one of those. Literally every one of those. He has the worst arm strength out of the top 5. He has the worst mobility out of the top 5. He has the least NFL body out of the top 5. And he played with the best team, surrounded by eliteness. I mean, the best team, offensive line. You could argue, I hate Alabama. You could argue that Alabama had one of the best college football teams probably in the last decade or so. That's how dominant they were this year. He was a product of that. He is the definition of a person that divs the ball up and lets playmakers make plays. So now he does have some elite traits. They're all intangible. You can't measure them. And that's the way in which he goes out there and is able to identify blitzes, gets the ball out quick, all those things. So here we go. Here's a clip on Mac Jones. Oh, let's see what he does with his safety coming down. Look at him, replaces it. Man, he is so good versus the blitz. Recognizes it. He's going to scream. Look where he's going to go. He's going to wait for number 2 to clear out, and then boom, right where that safety should have been, you know you got one-on-one coverage. Whew, that is a good play. You know, whenever you're watching these quarterbacks, you're thinking, what is it that he can do that other people can't in this draft? What is it that makes him better? First off, you like the arm motion. Elbow's a little low. Not too bad. He's got a decent release. But, man, if there's anything, you're circling that big old noggin, because what he's got between his ears, that's going to give him the opportunity to win a lot of games at the next level. Now, and so that's the thing with this quarterback, Mac Jones. 2.51 seconds average time to release. Best out of all the top 5 quarterbacks. Gets the ball out quick. Processes the information as quick as anybody. So I get that. So you look at Kyle Shanahan and you're like, man, this guy is Kyle Shanahan written all over him. Chris Sims has come out, who I'm not a big fan of at all, and I'm a Longhorn. But whatever, Chris Sims, his college buddy, whatever, has come out and said, man, this is probably a trade up for Mac Jones. I just don't see it. I just don't want it, not even a little bit. So whenever I look at kind of what's going on there, it's just not really what I want. It's just not what I want at all. Now, the next quarterback, okay, again, going back to this whole poll that we put out, Trey Lance came in with 25% of the vote. This is who I would take. If Trevor Lawrence and Zach Wilson are gone, I'm taking Trey Lance. I love Trey Lance. He's a perfect fit for the 49ers, ran the most similar scheme, all those different things. Now, if Zach Wilson's there, I'm taking Zach Wilson. And we'll talk about him at the end. That's kind of the pipe dream. But Trey Lance, oh, I freaking love me some Trey Lance. Here we go. The North Dakota State Bison signal caller. Never lost a game. Never lost a game. 1 interception. And if you're keeping up with how they're doing without Trey Lance, they postponed their season because of COVID to the spring they're playing now. Not the same team without him. Talk about how bad of a play this was by Dylan Redunds. But let's watch Trey Lance with pressure right in his face. It's hard to find weaknesses. Also, how many freaking progressions does he go through? Watch him read to his right, the tight end, I believe, here. Then he's going to check down to his running back, then go deep. 3 progressions. 1, 2, 3. Deep ball check. Look at the placement. Golly, such a catchable deep ball. He's got a cannon. This dude can rocket launch everything. Steps into the throw, into pressure. I mean, this guy's coming for him. Steps into it. I mean, gets laid out. Look at the placement of that ball. Whew. You know, you've got what's called the red line for wide receivers, and the place that Trey Lance puts this, the wide receiver is the only one that can get it, and he's got plenty of room. So halfway through between the numbers and the sideline, usually you have a red line in practice for wide receivers. And so look where he catches this ball. I mean, he's got a good 3 yards. Absolutely incredible ball. Perfectly safe with pressure in his face. Yeah, that was. I'm curious to see the distance of this throw, where he let it go at. Okay, so let's see here. He's going to let it go about the 45. Nope, right at the 40. Okay, so 10 yards to the 50. Where's the ball come down at? Boom, right there. Right at about the 13-yard line. Let's try that again. So 10 yards to the 50. Pressure in his face. Caught it right there at the 13. So you're talking 37. That's 47 yards in the air. You know, just touch pass. A 47-yard touch pass with pressure in his face. So, man, huge, terrible play there for Redunds. Huge positive play for Trey Lance. Look at it, getting through 3 reads. That translates to the NFL so well. Whenever I watch this kid's tape, I'm in love, man. His longest completed air yards pass, Trey Lance, is 62 yards in the air. Not a 62-yard completion. No. A 62 yards from the release of his hand to the wide receiver. The strongest arm in this draft class. Not even close. And you go back to whenever the 49ers played the Buffalo Bills, and you know, Kyle Shanahan came out and said, you know, whenever Josh Allen came out in the draft, this is who we wanted. And if he would have came out a year earlier, we talked about going and getting him. So it fits. This is the most Josh Allen quarterback out there. Now, he has much better accuracy. The problem with Josh Allen coming from a small school, Wyoming, was he couldn't complete passes. His accuracy was trash, and he turned the ball over all the time. This kid's had 1 turnover. 1 turnover. That's it. 17 career starts. You could say, okay, he hasn't played that much. Guess how many career starts Mac Jones has? 17. Now, there's a big difference North Dakota State to Alabama in the SEC. I get that. But you look at Daniel Jeremiah today. Quote, he has the most skills, Jimmy doesn't, and makes the most sense for the 49ers. That's Daniel Jeremiah. Gil Brandt, And, in the Pro Football Hall of Fame draft evaluator. If I was the 49ers, I'd grab Trey Lance. This makes the most sense to me. Now, it's not the only option. There's definitely some more people out there. 58% of the poll said go get Justin Fields. Now, Justin Fields, if you remember, probably him and Trey Lance have the highest ceiling in this class, and that's including Trevor Lawrence. I believe that. Their physicality is just different. I'm not the biggest Justin Fields guy, but is he worth the number 3 overall pick? You bet your rear end he is. If the 49ers take any of these 3 guys, Zach Wilson, Trey Lance, Justin Fields, it's a win. Pair that up with Kyle Shanahan. Oh my gosh. It's incredible. It's incredible. So, what is it that makes Justin Fields special? Man, let's look at this play. His arm. Oh my gosh. Now, I mean, you're throwing to a guy that, you love to throw the opposite hash all the way across the field. You've got to put a laser on it because if it does hang up in the air, it can be picked. But, I mean, there is nobody around this dude. Wide open wide receivers. Now, let's see the arm velocity. Let's see the throw here from Fields, how it comes out of his hand. So natural. I mean, that's just a freaking rope. Wide open, yeah, but it does show you his arm strength. That ball, it doesn't have much arch on it. It's just a freaking, it's just getting there, man. And so you talk about what he brings, his arm, his NFL body. He looks like Cam Newton, ran a 4.39, incredibly mobile. I mean, he does it all. He's got some stuff to learn, though. If you wanted to ask me who the most quarterback NFL-ready QB is out of all top 5, I'm putting Justin Fields last place. Doesn't mean he's not ready. Doesn't mean he's not elite. He's got more starts than almost everybody. He has some parts of his game he has to change. But he's freaking incredible. And I love it. You get any one of those 3 guys, I'm super happy. Now, I'm going to have to jump off this here in a minute because I got class again. I'm on my lunch break right now. But we do have the 49ers Rush. I'm so excited about this. Our Zoom hangout tonight couldn't be at a better time. So head over to patreon.com, 49ers Rush Podcast. Join us. We're going to be talking for an hour. We're going to be going through some more film, doing some 49ers trivia. Dale from Eat Sleep Fantasy is going to be joining us as well. But for my Countdown Crew people, I'm going to be giving away an invite. If you want to join us over there, that's the best way to support the show. 49ers Rush Podcast at patreon.com. You can quit anytime. You want to come check it out, you don't like it, quit, you're done, move on. But I'm giving away 3 invites. I need you guys to reach out to me on Twitter. I'll send you the Zoom link. You can join us tonight. It's going to be tonight at 6:30, Friday when we're recording this. So, Angel Embraced, hit me up. Let's go Logan Dean. You got one as well. And let's go Bay Area Baller 18. Just want to say thank you to the Countdown Crew. We'll be doing another giveaway next week with some 49ers merchandise to start off April. So every time you do the hashtag CC, hit that notification bell. You get entered into a prize. I'm keeping a tally every single episode. It takes a lot of time, but it's fun giving away stuff. We're always giving away stuff. So thank you to the Countdown Crew. So excited about this move. I'm pumped. I'm excited. I hope we don't go Mac Jones. I really hope we don't go Mac Jones. But the 49ers, man, they are putting it all on the line. And as a fan, you got to love it. Because the quarterback is the most important position in pro sports. The most important position. The 49ers have an opportunity to go get an elite, young player that can fit that. By the way, let me throw this in there. Trey Lance is only 20 years old, guys. 20 years old. 20. Imagine having that guy for 2 decades. I love it. You guys are the best. Just want to say thank you for all the support as always. Please rate, review the show. And man, good times. Good times. Thanks, guys. And we'll, as always, stay strong, faithful.